So the two major components of any road job are a horizontal and a vertical profile. Now, the horizontal I showed in another video. Sometimes you've got to hit things with a hammer and get things figured out, and the vertical profile is no different. Now, in this case, I'm using Carlson on this rehabilitation job, and there are some tools that kind of automate the process and make things a little bit easier. So you'll see shots I have of the roadway. Now what I'm going to do is kind of jump into producing a profile, but then show you some of the pieces along the way that I generated to make this thing work the way we want it. So what I'm going to do is go to my road pull down here and go to road rehabilitation profile, and you'll see that this calls out the files that are needed to produce this, and there's optional files here. So I'm just going to quickly run over these real fast, and at least for the areas that we need to. Now the rehab center line is one that we produced in the center line video, and let's take a look at the template so you kind of know the road that we're doing. In this case, this is small residential rebuild, so it's only a 12-foot road, pretty simple. Again, this can be as detailed as you want it to, so the specifics here don't really matter, just as long as you get the parameters right. And our existing surface, just to show you, I'll just bring up one of these. I'm going to scroll through and kind of show you that this thing's a little bit all over the place, even though we're trying to make a good-looking road out of what is kind of messy here. So needless to say, there's some work that needs to get done. So we'll exit out of that. And then I want to show you the template grade table and how I at least put things together. So what we did here was we highlight one of the sections and we pick on the match slope, and we're going to go to the existing road surface. And there's some parameters here with reference slope. And what we've done is generate target slopes and maximum changes, and here's changes per 100. Here's our low slope and high slope. Here's what I really want. And the slope tolerance actually gets generated as these parameters change. So it'll kind of tell you how things are going to go. And you can also use the reference template grade table for the target slope, so that helps you to better define these things. So here's one side, here's the other side. There's a lot different slope changes here. So we're going to back out of that, and these are all the pieces that we have to make the rehabilitation profile. And we've got additional process options here. We're going to do 8-inch overlay here. We have no parameters for leveling thickness. Again, a big thing is the software is going to try to grab template IDs. So EP was the ID that I gave that first edge paving on either side, and it'll go to that, and obviously there could be multiples or different ones, and these are some other parameters to set. And I mentioned in the article that you can adjust the template grade table. You can do this to kind of rerun the job and tighten up the profile a little bit. That'll oftentimes improve the results. In other words, when I say improve the results, I mean give you a little bit better material usage, less, if you will, less milling, less fill, less subgrade, to kind of flatten things out a little bit, so it makes things work in your favor. And with all those pieces together, it'll give you a decent profile. So we can go here and take a look at this profile that we've built. And again, just like the center line, we have individual segments. They kind of work together. Now, this can be taken a step further to improve the quality of the profile by joining these together and doing a best fit profile command to make this even better. But again, that starts to change parameters and may mess things up. This is a rehab job. It looks kind of chunky here, but actually, when this one worked out, it's actually quite smooth because these are minor changes throughout this. So there's a way to generate a decent profile, get it put together, and get a rehab job working.